Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm back to break down this 5-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings and FanDuel. Excited to get into it. Going to give you guys the top plays, figure out the top guys that we should be getting in our lineups to win some money tonight. Before we do, quick reminder that if you do enjoy the content at any point in this video, if you could please take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. That would be greatly appreciated. I'll be here all NBA DFS season long, breaking down these NBA DFS slates to help you guys become better NBA DFS players. Hope you guys win some money night in and night out, and I will be offering some holiday specials as well throughout the month of December. One thing I can announce right now is my Discord chat is now going to be only $1 to join. You can check that out, link below in the description, and my premium packages, Patreon, Discord, all of December will only be $1. You join the Discord, you can ask me questions all the way up until lock throughout the night. Kind of can become part of the KJK DFS community. Honestly, I would offer it for free. I just can't because Patreon doesn't allow me to put in, free prices, and I kind of need to track who's coming into the Discord through the Patreon just to ensure that they actually have an interest in DFS and we're not getting any trolls just climbing in the Discord and causing a bunch of nonsense. So Discord will only be $1 all throughout the month of December, so go ahead and check that out if you're interested. And let's go ahead and start breaking down this slate today. So, DraftKings, 5-gamer, FanDuel, 5-gamer. First game on the slate. This slate's going to lock at 7:30. Is going to be Chicago taking on the New York Knicks. This game right now comes in with a total of a 213 over-under with a 2-point spread in favor of the Chicago Bulls. So expected to stay close, decently paced game. And we know where the volume's going on both sides of this team for the most part, so that's always going to be good. RJ Barrett is listed as questionable in this one. If he is indeed out, of course, it's going to open up a lot more usage on the New York Knicks side of things, so that's certainly something to keep an eye on. He only played 9 minutes last time out, so that's not too promising. Julius Randle obviously going to get a big bump up if there is no RJ Barrett in this one. He's the top usage guy on the New York Knicks side of things, and then you're looking to an Alec Burks and an Emmanuel Quickley, the other starters, of course, as well. To kind of fill in and fill up those shoes if RJ Barrett is indeed out. As far as their opponent as overall, the Chicago Bulls and how they fared defensively on the season so far, they haven't exactly been the worst in the world. They haven't been the best, but they're pretty good overall, to be honest. 10th overall in my points per possession rank over here on my Patreon sheet, so pretty good at, locking down on defense for the most part. So I'm not getting too excited from a matchup aspect to be targeting these Knicks, but the fact of the matter is Alec Burks still remains at a very friendly price tag for the role that he's taken on. He's been playing mid to upper 30s minutes and a very good fantasy point producer on the season as far as what he's produced at a point per minute rate. He's putting up 0.98 DK points per minute. So obviously a guy that we don't mind targeting whatsoever if he's going to continue to take on the point guard roles. And then Evan Fournier going to be the other guy that I think you could certainly be taking a hard look to as well. These minutes have just been really dispersed in this New York Knicks rotation, though. It's kind of scary. They're spreading it real thin. And like I said, it's not as if this matchup's the best matchup in the world. So, not getting too excited. And on the Chicago side of things, Nikola Vucevic is back and healthy. He was out for quite some time. He's going to obviously impact the usage for other guys such as Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball. So once again, all these guys being back in the equation, you're probably only going to want to play one of these guys. Or two of these guys because their upside will be somewhat limited. So not getting too excited on the Chicago Bulls side. If I were to pick one guy to play, like I said, from a first look aspect, not really nothing standing out to me. So I feel pretty confident about that overall breakdown. Derrick Rose is a guy that probably stands out the most to me right now at 4.8 on the New York Knicks side of things from an upside at his respective price tag. But even with him, his minutes can fluctuate. He did play 35 minutes last time. He put up 36 DraftKings points, so one guy that I'd be looking to. Milwaukee taking on Toronto is going to be the second game on the slate right now. This game comes in with a total of a 213.5 over-under, 4.5-point spread in favor of the Milwaukee Bucks. So expected to stay close, which is obviously step one with these Milwaukee Bucks. That's always an important thing. It is a 213.5 over-under, which isn't exactly the highest total, but when you're looking at across the board on the slate, that's really about average, and there's a couple games that could possibly turn into blowouts. So the fact that this game is expected to stay close, not the worst thing in the world. Giannis Antetokounmpo at 12K, probably going to be the top spend-up option on the slate. He had a big game last night, as I expected him to, in that high up-tempo game in Charlotte. This one's going to be a little bit less of a high-tempo game on a back-to-back, but still, Toronto really has not been very good defensively. I've been saying it all season long. But they're not really scaring me. Looking at my Patreon premium content sheet over here, they're 25th in the league in points per possession rank, 28th in half-court offensive rebounding percentage rank, giving up a lot of putbacks, 30th in the league in putbacks per miss. So literally worst in the league as far as giving up putbacks. So that's going to be a great spot for Giannis to be getting those putbacks. Same thing can be said for Bobby Portis down low for Milwaukee. The only thing about Bobby Portis is I do think that the addition of DeMarcus Cousins is hurting him from a minute aspect. DeMarcus Cousins played 15 minutes last time out, and we saw Bobby Portis' minutes get cut because of it, I think. He only played 26 minutes. He wasn't in foul trouble. Nothing was wrong. So I'm a little concerned about Bobby Portis going forward. He's been priced up to the role that he was playing on. He's continuing to see his price tag increase, so I might want to fade him. Gary Trent Jr. is listed as questionable in this game. Certainly keep your eyes on that. That is some big news. If he is indeed out, Svi Mykhailiuk could become a great value play. Once again, we saw him really take on a bigger role these last couple games. He only played 18 minutes last time out, unfortunately. I'm not really sure what happened there. They cut his minutes down, but there also is no Khem Birch in this one, so we could be taking a harder look to some Chris Boucher minutes possibly. But for the most part, those minutes are going to really all go towards Precious Achiuwa, who's been playing 30 to upper 30s in minutes per game. But with that being said, the main three candidates on the Toronto side, if Gary Trent Jr. is out, for sure are going to be the ones you're really wanting to focus in on. We already know OG Anunoby's out, so it's going to be the main pay-up options. Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet really standing out, all going to play mid to upper 30 minutes, all being pushed in a major way in their minutes because that's just how this Toronto rotation works. And all guys that I would certainly want to be playing in my lineups tonight. So, from a minutes upside aspect, certainly I'm interested in them. Malachi Flynn continues to be priced at minimum salary, so maybe he's an interesting guy to be looking to. But like I said, Siakam, VanVleet, and Scotty Barnes, if this game's going to stay close, it's really going to be those three guys having big games. And if you are interested in some Malachi Flynn at 3K, he did play 22 minutes last time out. I think he's going to continue to see more minutes. He is minimum salary, so I think he's an intriguing play that could possibly play out for you in tournaments. And someone I'd be willing to play. And then on the Milwaukee side, the secondary options are going to be Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton. Obviously, they're going to be the main candidates for usage next up behind Giannis Antetokounmpo. So if you're not playing Giannis Antetokounmpo, I'd recommend fading him and going to one of these guys because most likely they're going to be the reason he's not getting to his ceiling game. Oklahoma City taking on Memphis is the next game on the slate. John Morant continues to be out. Josh Giddey continues to be out. Kyle Anderson listed as questionable in this one. So as far as the overall total in this game, it is a 215 over-under. It's a 9-point spread in favor of Memphis. Memphis expected to win this game pretty easily. We've seen Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, Lou Dort, Trey Mann step into the starting lineup for this Oklahoma City Thunder team. They're looking real rough around the edges right now as far as their overall talent in the starting lineup. Lou Dort continues to be priced very reasonably for his role. He played 36 minutes, put up 34.5 DraftKings points last time out. Certainly could have interest in him. Same thing can be said for Darius Bazley. His minutes have been somewhat capped, though. We are seeing Robinson-Earl step in and take on a pretty prominent role. He played 34 minutes. He's still priced at 4.4. That's very reasonably priced. And Memphis has been really bad defensively, so they do get a pretty good matchup here. Memphis is 30th in the league, dead last in points per possession rank on my premium content, 24th in all transition points allowed rank. So they're allowing quite a bit of points. And if there was ever time for Oklahoma City Thunder to actually stay in a game in a big spread, this might be the one because Memphis just can't really slow anyone down defensively. Trey Mann continues to be priced only at 3.6. I was a little concerned about him going in the last game. He traditionally just hasn't been that good of a fantasy point producer, even though he had that one big game for 32 points, and he went out there and let us down, so it kind of makes sense. He's still really cheap if you want to go to him, but I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't a little bit concerned about him. Ty Jerome's only 3.2. His minutes have been somewhat capped because of Mann's performances. Pakusevsky continues to see his minutes somewhat capped. Isaiah Roby, as far as how he's been playing like right around 15 minutes, maybe upwards of 20. But those are the guys you'd want to be targeting if this game does turn into a blowout. So you're going to have to kind of figure out if you think a game stays close or it does turn into a blowout. But the main candidates I'd be targeting if this game stays close is going to be Robinson-Earl, Lou Dort, and of course the main candidate, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. If the game's going to stay close, he's going to have a big game. He went up there and put up 49 DraftKings points last time out. He does get a tremendous matchup taking on this Memphis squad, as mentioned, on a back-to-back, unfortunately, but you can't ask for a much better spot, so do have some interest in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And then on the other side for Memphis, there's no John Morant, so Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr. are going to continue to take on a lot of the usage, as well as these other guys in Desmond Bane, Tyus Jones, and DeAnthony Melton. It's kind of obvious where we're looking to target. Those are really all the guys that I just listed are where you're looking to go in this game. On the Memphis side of things, they're the ones that are going to get all the minutes. They're the ones that are getting all the usage, and it becomes even clearer with there being no John Morant. The one guy I would be a little bit wary on is the Anthony Melton, just because we haven't really seen his minutes get way up there. He's been playing, minimal minutes. So he's probably the one guy I'd be willing to fade in that group. But everyone else making a lot of sense. Brandon Clark, Steven Adams continuing to see their minutes somewhat limited. So you can make an argument for Steven Adams' revenge game tonight. Maybe we'll take it on his Oklahoma City team. But other than that, I really don't see much of a desire to go there. I think we can really stick to those main core guys that we already discussed. Detroit taking on Phoenix. This next game on the slate. Devin Booker is listed as out in this one. That is some very big news, of course. Landry Shamet, Cameron Johnson going to be in for more usage, but mainly Chris Paul obviously going to get a big bump up in usage for sure. This game comes in with a 210.5 over-under with a 13-point spread in favor of the Phoenix Suns, which is a little unfortunate because, I do think that Chris Paul is going to take on some big usage here. Really want to target him. Just a little scared about the blowout. But with that being said, there are some guys that are a bit blowout-proof on the Phoenix side that we just talked about, like a Cameron Johnson, like a Cameron Payne, that should get more minutes and more usage with there being no Devin Booker. And even if the game does turn into a blowout, I'd expect their run to be pretty extended here. So that's going to be really good news for us as far as this value. I really think these guys could be ones that you really want to prioritize in your lineup. Cameron Johnson, Cameron Payne, even maybe a JaVale McGee at 4K get some more run in a blowout because of the DeAndre Ayton return. So maybe some interesting options there for blowout. If you think the game stays close, obviously Mikal Bridges, Landry Shamet, Jay Crowder, all those guys are going to have to take on some more responsibility with there being no Devin Booker. So even Jay Crowder, if the game does turn to blowout, I really don't care. He's only 4-3. He could certainly get you there in a hurry at that price tag in his new starting role. Mikal Bridges, like we talked about, going to take on some more responsibility. And Landry Shamet's priced all the way down to 3-1. So you can make an argument to fade Landry Shamet and maybe play like a Cameron Johnson off the bench instead. That's something that I commonly do if I'm worried about ownership because Shamet's 3-1. He's going to be out there with the starting unit. That's going to soak up a lot of usage around him. So like Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, DeAndre Ayton. Whereas Cameron Johnson's going to come off the bench with the second unit where he's the best scoring option. So he's going to get all the usage with the particular players he's playing with. So certainly don't always just start the guy that's in the starting lineup. It's important to take in the context of what's going on. That kind of be my approach there. On the Detroit side, if this game's going to stay close, it's going to be Cade Cunningham, Jeremiah Grant, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart, the main candidates. All these guys that are priced up the highest on Detroit for good reason. That's the guys that are going to need to step up if the game's going to stay close. The problem is they're taking on a Phoenix squad that's very good defensively. Phoenix is third overall in the league in points per possession rank, allowing a very minimal amount of scoring. Doing a very good job on defense. And the fact of the matter is, if you take Devin Booker out of this lineup, it's just going to improve their defense even more. Definitely going to hurt their offense, but their defense will get even better. So, yeah, a little bit scary targeting this Detroit side. If you are targeting a pay-up option like a Chris Paul, I do think it makes a lot of sense to run it back with one of those guys on the Detroit side, like a Cade Cunningham, or multiple guys probably. Jeremiah Grant, they're going to have big games to keep it close. If you're playing a DeAndre Ayton, same thing can be said. With the spread being so big, I do think it would make some sense to have a run-back option. And the last game on the slate, the San Antonio Spurs taking on the Portland Trail Blazers. Damian Lillard continues to be out, so that's obviously going to be some very big news in this one. It's the highest total pace game on the slate. Anthony Simmons is going to get the start. CJ McCollum. Norman Powell is listed as questionable, which is another big piece of news. If he's in, that's going to take a little bit of a hit to CJ McCollum and Anthony Simmons' usage. He would become a great play. If he's out, CJ McCollum and Anthony Simmons are going to continue to be tremendous plays. CJ McCollum, arguably the top play on the slate, with there being no Damian Lillard, going to have a bunch of interest in him, of course. Yusuf Nurkic at 7K, going to get a big bump up in usage as well, so I like him. And, of course, the aforementioned Anthony Simmons. That's a nice little pun for you guys. Not usually big on those, but yeah. Anthony Simmons is going to be a great play at 4.9 on DraftKings, certainly making some sense, and on over on FanDuel. Same thing can be said for a very cheap point guard if he does get the start, especially if there's no Norman Powell. If Norman Powell's back, he becomes a possible fade candidate, but if there's no Norman Powell, he's just really going to be a great option. And, you're really going to want to be targeting these Portland guys. Robert Covington, Larry Nance Jr. could get some more usage as well, but like I said, it's really going to be CJ McCollum, Anthony Simmons, and then if we do get confirmation that Norman Powell's in, another guy that you could certainly be taking a hard look to. And then on the San Antonio Spurs side of things, DeJounte Murray going to be a great pay-up option. He's continuing to produce at a very high rate, 59, 54, 59, and 47 DraftKings points the last few times out. This guy's been an absolute fantasy beast for quite some time. He just needed some opportunity to step into a role without these other guys digging into his usage in San Antonio. He's finally gotten that this year, so he's always going to be a great payoff option for you, especially in the highest paced game on the slate. And then you have Derek White in the mid-range priced, where he could certainly pay off that price tag. He's a little bit versatile. He's put up 42 DraftKings points the last 2 times out. Something tells me he's always going to grade out good in projection models, and with his recent production, people might be very quick to play him, so he might be a good fade candidate in this game, honestly. But, I mean, I have interest in him, but he's just so versatile. Something could go bad there. And then you have Keldon Johnson, Jakob Poeltl. That probably would be my tournament play, to be honest, would be play Keldon Johnson and fade Derek White. Because, like I said, I do think there's going to be a bunch of attention headed his way with those 2 games recently, him putting up some big games. And, yeah, but CJ McCollum, tremendous play with there being no Damian Lillard, so can't emphasize that enough. Like him a lot. And that's my overall breakdown of this 5-game slate, guys. Before I let you guys go, I got to give you my lock of the night. Let's get into it. And my lock of the night tonight is going to be CJ McCollum. Taking on this San Antonio Spurs squad tonight with no Damian Lillard. CJ McCollum definitely going to be in charge of carrying the load here for this Trailblazers offense. In the highest total game on the slate with a 221 over-under and only a 4-point spread. Other games on the slate expected to be a blowout. So everything added up here for CJ McCollum to really have a high ceiling game. Certainly priority in my lineups. Get him in yours because he is my lock of the night. So there you have it, guys. CJ McCollum, get him in your lineups. And that is all from me in this one. If you did enjoy the content at any point in this video, if you could please take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. That would be greatly appreciated. If you're interested in my premium content, you can go ahead and check that out. Link below in the description. As mentioned with the December sale, you can go ahead and hop in the Discord for only $1. So gladly would love to have you join the KJK DFS community over there. You can ask me any questions up to lock, after lock, all that fun stuff. I'm always in there answering your questions. Wish you guys all the best of luck tonight. We'll see you tonight on the live stream, hopefully. And if not, we'll see you in the next one.